We found in LA. I think we took this from some Hezbollah, and we're gonna burn it right now.
Jeans maker LRG's knockoffs have turned up all over the world, threatening the company with bankruptcy. Rob Holmes is their brand detective.
When I was a teenager, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and instead I went away to Bible college to become a minister. Realized I wasn't really much for rules, so I left there, moved out to LA to become a stand-up comedian, and I did that for a few years and realized that sometimes it's hard to escape the family business because it's what you know. My father always said he was born to catch bad guys. I really think I was born to catch bad guys.
Rob also works for some of the world's biggest luxury goods firms. Thanks to the internet, the fakes trade has exploded.
All right, this is the package label right here from EMS, tracking package company. We placed this order using a credit card on a website. And if customs were to look at this just would look like a regular toy, electronic toy. Now, I just unscrewed all the screws on the back of this, so now we'll be able to see what the inside of this looks like. And this is exactly what happens. And there's my receipt for a violin.
Was it China, as you say?
Yes. Yeah, it came from China. Groups like Customs, they can inspect large packages, but they can't inspect every single one of the tens of thousands of small packages that go across the border. So when someone sees a toy, it's wrapped like a gift, stuff like that makes it pass very often. And there it is. A designer brand name watch that we ordered off of a website with a U.S. telephone number. And there you go. From the website to my hand. I just love what I do, and I don't have any other hobbies. Catching bad guys is all I like to do. So that's what I do. I catch bad guys. When I'm home, I do spend some time with my wife, obviously, but when I'm home, I really like to catch bad guys. So sometimes I'll just pause the TiVo, turn the TV off or something, and just pull out my laptop and start investigating people.
Rob's investigations have led to the seizure of almost $1 billion worth of copies.
So look at this. I just put in replica watches and look at all the... This is just right here. Just pages and pages of replica watches. And this person here, he's selling an Omega Seamaster for $215. I'm actually wearing an Omega Seamaster. You can't get it for less than $1,300. This watch here, retail price $215. And it's being sold by a guy from Ilkeston, UK. Now, first thing I'm going to do, Google his username. There's 72 hits, and here he is selling the same Omega Seamaster on a UK-based site. And here he is. Here he says Derbyshire, but then he says Ian. So now we have a first name. Also, we have a home page that he claims to be his home page. So we may have some owner information. Well, right here, look at this. Good luck and warmest regards, Ian J. Baker. Next thing I want to do, going to check the British White Pages. Okay, now we have a possible suspect. I.J. Baker, 14 Hedges Drive, Ilkeston.
Ian Baker told us he sold only one counterfeit watch, which he'd previously bought for himself online. After we contacted him, he shut down his website, which had offered to show people how to make money through the internet.
Let me see these fucking shoes.
But otherwise law-abiding citizens can quickly become bigger fish,
I'm flipping out. This is fake store.
setting up their own fakes businesses online.
Well, it all started on eBay, as it happens. It was the very first Harry Potter movie I saw for sale on there. And thought, oh, I'll buy that. I think it was about £10. Things progressed from there.
Peter Stevens used to buy his fakes from a man called Paul. When he disappeared, Peter was contacted by the supplier and asked to replace him.
DVDs used to come from a guy called Ivan, who was based in Malaysia. And Ivan got in touch with me and said, look, Paul's no longer selling DVDs on eBay, would you like to take over from him? And then it was a case of me ordering direct from Ivan and getting the DVDs even cheaper and selling them on eBay. And, you know, everything was good in the hood, as they say.
Within weeks, he was selling to customers in 39 countries.
You know, I made a good living out of it. Over the 2 years, I brought in £330,000 or thereabouts. I didn't need the money, but I wanted the money. You know, it was like you get used to going and shopping at Harvey Nicks and going and eating in fine restaurants and things like that, and you forget what it was like when you couldn't afford to do that.
People like Peter have become fronts for the major players, who use them to take all the risks whilst they remain hidden.
When I went to prison, I got talking, you know, when you're in prison, it's what you in for, what you done, this, that and the other. And two of the guys over him were like, oh, I'm in for copyright theft. Oh, me too. And you get talking, it's, oh yeah, Ivan Lau, this guy that supplies us. Oh, bloody hell, yeah, he supplies you as well.
What did you used to do? What was your profession before that?
Well, I started life out as a chef, but at the time that I was selling the DVDs, I was working in computer security.
Ivan Lau was a fake name. Peter and the other distributors only communicated with him via emails. Little is known about the kingpins that are now running world counterfeiting. Getting close to them is increasingly dangerous.
This one was particularly interesting because somebody attacked me with this and I disarmed him.
The top investigators are taking extraordinary risks to try to uncover the syndicates.
Not the usual stuff an IP lawyer.
If there's no training for this in law school, that's for sure.
Despite being sick with laryngitis, Ed Kelly was desperate to tell us about them.
What we're seeing today is really the dark side of globalization. A trafficking organization now is similar to a multinational corporation. You have human resources, you have a CFO, you have accountants, you have lawyers, you have recruiters, you have people that specialize in logistics, you have warehousemen, you have shippers, you have truckers, you have distribution, and you have retail. All of those functions are functions that you would find in a Walmart and functions that you would also find in a highly developed criminal organization. All right?
What personal experience do you have that makes you believe that?
I've been in meetings posing as a lawyer who's helping a gang set up an offshore bank account so that I get intelligence about all of the different investors and shareholders, and they talk about it openly. You can see the scar.
2 weeks before our meeting took place, Ed's undercover work finally caught up with him.
To here, a motorcyclist came and tried to slash me with a box cutter. I mean, that's the type of thing that you would find. That happened within 2 blocks of my home. So that means to me, they know where I live. And that's why my wife wants to move. And we're going to move at the end of July.
The syndicates are now targeting Britain.
Gary Hayward, good morning. Hi, Nicky.
This is a middleman working for one of them. Gary Hayward's been wanted since 2003 for his part in an international fake Viagra conspiracy.
That's what we've seen, and that's for your lot, isn't it?
But they're all coming in fours now.
Oh, that's good.
What can you do? Yeah, that's actually coming down. On the foil packs, we're actually going to be looking at $4. per tablet.
Right.
I know a guy, not a million miles from here, who is selling these on the internet.
Yeah.
And in some cases is getting as much as £12 sterling per tablet.
Yeah, I know.
Within 6 to 8 weeks,
Yeah.
I will be able to supply up to 1 million tablets.
He's being filmed by private investigators, posing as fellow criminals.
Review this, I'll have to speak to you.
To be quite honest with you, Simon, that if you can't make a killing at those prices, then you're never going to...
No.
That's confident I will. It's what you have to appreciate.
Yeah.
That they're coming through the back door.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll work that out for the price. Yeah.
You know, they're happy with what they're making.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you said you worked there, did you, for a while?
I worked for 15 years.
Good for me.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. Yeah.
So you're good about you, you're a chemist or?
No, I'm international sales manager.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Hayward's claims were themselves fake. He was getting the drugs from a man in China who went by the alias of Victor Chen. In September 2007, Hayward was convicted along with 3 of his co-conspirators. They'd sold over 500,000 pills.
This is the biggest investigation and prosecution of counterfeit medicines here in the UK.
It had taken the authorities 4 years to catch them.
It's a very significant global counterfeiting ring.
But the Ivan Laos and Victor Chens of this world still remain hidden. And worryingly, the syndicates are moving on from lifestyle drugs to prescription medicines. This is Nigeria, West Africa. A warning of things to come for Britain. It's being flooded with fake, potentially lethal pharmaceuticals.
This came in as battery chargers. They concealed it with battery chargers, but they are still anti-malaria, Cortexin. Came on Ethiopian airline, and the consignment is from China. Anti-malaria, and they're all fake.
Are they good quality copies? Do they look good?
Very good quality copies. The hologram is there. Same name. It has the NAFDAC registration number, which is correct. And it's just difficult for you to differentiate between the fake from the original.
In the quest for profits, the fakers have moved on to products that kill. And it's no longer just the developing world's problem. This is Lagos, where by the turn of the century, 40% of the drugs in circulation were estimated to be fake. It was up to the Nigerian regulator, NAFDAC, to fight the counterfeiters single-handed because the big drug companies didn't want to publicise the issue. People didn't know that the medicines they were taking had little or no active ingredients because the regulators were being paid off by the counterfeiters.
Fake drug catches up on every individual, irrespective of your class.
The victims come from all levels of society, including the former president of the Nigerian Medical Association.
One evening, I was just in my office here, this same place, and started feeling dizzy. And suddenly, I collapsed.
After going into a coma, Dr. Okpagu spent the next 3 months in hospital.
It was 8 days before I woke up, only to discover that my blood pressure had risen abnormally high, and I had a cerebrovascular accident. This very zestral drug, I've been on it for over 15 years. And this time around, just for 2 months, they weren't fake drugs. When these people fake these drugs, they mimic the exact nature and the label of this drug. When you